guys, welcome back to a brand new episode. Today, I got our recurring guests on the show.
Hello, everybody.
Please introduce yourself.
This is Natalie, the most recurring guest on
Ever.
Head Over Heels.
That is true. You know what? Today's episode really is so random. But first of all, I want to address the way I sound, guys.
Yeah, Maggie, why do you sound a bit different today?
I've got aligners on.
Oh my God, tell us about it.
This is a commitment, guys. I need to put it out there. So if I sound a little bit different, it's because I decided to wear my aligners, even though I technically don't have to, because this episode is a laid back, chill one. I want to be my full self, and I'm still only in the first week of wearing my aligners, and they fucking hurt.
And you sound really, really good for someone who's just
Really?
on their first week. Because when I
Thank
had
you.
mine, it was like,
It's hard. Plus mine, right, has this thing where I'm supposed to put rubber on, you know.
oh dear.
So I don't just have the attachment. Can you see? I have this additional thing that pokes out.
They're like little plugs.
Yes. So I'm supposed to put on rubber bands on both sides of my aligners on the outside. But my doctor say he doesn't want to torture me first, because this is going to be quite a transition already. So that phase 2 will be me putting on rubber band. Oh my God, I'm not looking forward to it. But because now there's no rubber band, this thing juts out. So if I press my face from the outside, it actually hurts. So when I sleep, and if my face is like against a pillow, it kind of is very uncomfortable because that thing is like jutting out. Anyway, so the reason...
But you will really enjoy the result of it, I think. So,
well, I don't know how long that's going to take.
a few weeks, couple of weeks, 30 weeks maybe.
How long did yours
I
take?
think I had mine for 32 weeks, but just to shift a little bit of my two bottom front teeth.
That's it, right?
That's all I did. But the thing is, the moment you start on this program, you gotta be on it your whole life.
Huh? Oh yes.
Because now you gotta you align them. You align them.
Yeah.
For whatever amount of weeks your doctor prescribes.
Yeah.
And then after you're done with the program, you gotta put on retainers to retain the shape of your teeth. But I think you doing this is amazing because alignment of teeth change over time as you grow old. So even if you didn't want to change anything about your teeth now, as you grow old, your alignment of your teeth will change. It will loosen up, and then you will have gaps. So for you to do this now, and you always have retainers on, that will make sure that as you grow old, your teeth will still be in very good shape for you.
Right. Honestly, if anything, I'm like a lot more particular about the hygiene of my teeth now, because I have this on, and then it's got residue on the
So just brush
aligners.
it top and bottom inside.
I wash it with soap and then rinse it dry.
They also have the little tablets where you
I
put
can
in
buy
the
it, yeah.
cups. Yeah,
I haven't gotten that yet. I'm like literally in the first week of wearing my aligners. So yeah, I decided to put it on because every time I take it out for food and put it back on, it's like migraine in my teeth. Just this part. So I'm like, guys, can I wear this? Because obviously I technically don't have to when I'm working. So clients, don't worry. I will not sound like this when I'm hosting your events. But only for my own podcast, I decided to wear it.
But Maggie, I think this is commitment, and commitment always gives you good results. So bear with it.
Guys, we'll find out very soon how I look in the next hopefully less than 30 weeks. I don't want to do longer than that. Anyway, guys, Nat, you know why you're here, right?
Absolutely.
I gave her a text just last week. I'm like, Nat, you're done watching the series? And she's like, yeah, bro.
Okay, wait, for those who are listening, what series are we talking about?
Exactly, I'm getting there, right? Is this new Kdrama that's been the talk of town. Now, there's a lot of Kdrama that was the talk of town for a long time, but this one hits so different.
Very different. Everybody who watches it is like, oh my God.
Not just that, my therapist. I was talking about it with my therapist the other day, and she's like, yes, Maggie, I watched it too, and I sobbed. I never sobbed. I'm a therapist. I sobbed. And I was like, oh my God. And if you still don't know what we're talking about, clearly you know, right? It's on the title, I believe. But it's When Life Gives You Tangerine. Quite chic. Anyway.
Best drama ever, honestly, I think, in my opinion, as of now.
Now, you are quite well versed with the Korean culture. Why do you think this is such a hit this time?
So previously, I had a past favorite for many years.
Okay. Can I guess? Do I know it?
You know it. You for sure know it.
Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even think of that.
My love is in that. Fight my way.
Yeah, Fight for My Way.
Fight for my way.
And only because that drama had a lot of like slice of life kind of situation in there. And that was my favorite for the longest time because it talks about like hardships of a person trying to get a job and things like that. And then this drama came out and I realized they were both written by the same writer.
What's his name?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry,
my
I don't
God.
remember the writer's name, but I went to do some research. I was like, who wrote this amazing piece of work? And I found out it was the same writer as Fight for Me, and I was so glad. I was like, I
No
have
wonder.
a type.
You've got a type.
I've got a type.
But to summarize for those of you who haven't watched it, first of all, it is total spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen the drama, but you would like to watch it, I would say this is your chance to pause, stop, and save it until you've finished it and come back and join us. But if you've seen it, honey, we're going to talk about it. Okay?
Absolutely.
So, do we need to even summarize it? Because it's for people who've already seen it. So,
Okay, I think for those who hasn't seen it, like Maggie said, exit and come back later.
Hello, healers. Now, if you have been on the hunt for a vitamin C serum that actually works without stressing out your skin and with hydrating benefits, well, this might be your sign. So, Drunk Elephant just dropped their all-new C Luma Hydra Bright Serum, and it is designed for anyone who wants that brighter, healthier-looking glow without the usual sting or drama that comes with some vitamin C products, if you know what I mean. So, it's perfect for all you vitamin C beginners out there. So, it's a 10% vitamin C serum, but made with a gentler combo, 9% sodium ascorbyl phosphate, and 1% ascorbyl glucoside. What did I just say? Don't worry, let me translate. It basically helps with dullness, fine lines, discoloration, and also help fight blemishes as well. All of that while being kind to your skin. Plus, it's packed with hydration boosters like sodium hyaluronate. So whether you are a skincare newbie or someone who's never found the one, C Luma is like the friendly vitamin C that plays well with others. You can even mix it with your favorite Drunk Elephant moisturizer or serum to make your own custom skincare smoothie. That's right, I said skincare smoothie because at Drunk Elephant, mixing is the new layering. So get glowing with the gentle yet effective C Luma Hydra Bright Serum, available now at your nearest Sephora, or you can also find Drunk Elephant at the Exchange TRX and Isetan KLCC. Now, let's get back to the episode.
The plot follows the storyline of a girl from when she's a young girl all the way to when she's a grandma. So it goes across many, many years following her life and goes through different stories up and down of her life.
yeah.
That is just the rough summary of what it is.
So when I started watching it, I didn't think too much about it because I kind of took a pause on K-dramas for a bit. At the time, I felt like there's not really anything that's too compelling that pulled me into watching it. So I watched it on a random weekend where I had like a whole day off. But you know what? I finished 2 volumes in one day.
Oh, you joined halfway.
Yeah, I joined halfway. I didn't know. I heard about it. I was like, okay, what's the big deal? I saw Park Bo-gum and IU. I know the both of them. I know it looked cute, but like I wasn't really drawn to it for whatever reason because I was like so chaotic with work. But the moment I sat down and watched it, I was like, oh.
So binge worthy. You sit down and you're like, I need to know more.
Yeah.
What's next?
And each volume actually, again, like you said, is different. No spoilers. But from now, we might start spoiling already. So please, again, warning for you to pause and come back another time.
Choose your episodes wisely.
So, where do we start?
Okay, let's start. About how we want to segregate the whole show.
Okay, maybe we start with why we love it so much. We've seen so many dramas, but this one really hits so many spots because obviously the first part when she lost her mom at such a young age. I mean, I have my mom with me still, but I lost my grandma at a very young age. So that really hit me and I understood. And the amount of sacrifice the mom did also made me realize how much my mom sacrificed for me. So it's not just about love, it's really like family and like generational trauma and like that conflicted and complicated relationship with your parents. Because you know how she's like always complaining, but at the end of the day, as she grew older, she realized even when she's at 70 years old, she wants her mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think why I like the show so much is very similar to what you just said. It's because the whole story makes you feel like this could actually be your story.
yeah.
It doesn't matter, the background of the story doesn't matter. It's the little things that they choose to talk about. It's not talking about just a story. It's about how you react to a certain thing, to family,
Yeah.
to a partner, to your closest ones,
Yeah.
and even to strangers. It tells you how you would react in certain situations, and you feel like, hey, I would have done the same too. And you experience the regret with the character.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's why it's absolutely relatable to a lot of us.
Yeah.
That's why it's amazing.
But again, because it goes through different volume, there's some parts where by the time it's like the I think the third volume where Park Bo-gum was no longer. Oh no, actually volume 2 Park Bo-gum is no longer in it, right? I just felt a bit weird because I'm so attached to his character already in the first 4 episodes. I'm like, wait, where is he? Is he gonna ever appear? He's gonna come back? Yeah. Because now IU now becomes the daughter of
Herself,
A-sun, of herself.
Aesun.
A-sun. So
Aesun.
Aesun. I cannot say it with my liner as well.
Okay.
Aesun. Aesun.
Aesun.
Kumyong. Okay. So now she becomes Kumyong. And I'm like, then I have to recalibrate myself that now Aesun is this older woman. And then they haven't even revealed Park Bo-gum for a while. And I'm like, wait, who's going to be Park Bo-gum? Is he going to just look older as Park Bo-gum, or like a different person will play him? But that took me a while to recalibrate because I was really attached to that pair already.
I remember she was texting me. She's like, when is Park Bo-gum coming out? I'm like, bro, how can he come out when he's her love interest? He can't appear as her brother.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
Yeah. So that one I was like, a bit sad that Park Bo-gum was no longer in it. But I guess throughout the show, he does reappear as flashbacks lah.
Yep.
Like an additional stuff where we didn't get to see the first volume. So that was the only thing that got me like, I miss him. I want him back.
It's a little bit of vitamin for your eyes, you know, when he appears. You're like, whoa, such a great guy with that look. Damn.
No, I think he's now the world's favorite boyfriend.
Yeah.
The world's favorite boyfriend. Like he's created
like the standard for many, many people across.
Golden standard, not any standard.
So I told Maggie, like, this guy is not just a green flag. It's like he's like a whole forest.
Correct. But you know what? I don't know. Is it realistic, to be very honest? Do you really think we can find a guy like that?
Actually, everybody's different. Like, you may not want someone like Kwan Shik.
I want.
I said you may not, because that may not be what you're looking for. You may be looking for someone who lets you be, who doesn't really want to be too involved. Some people have different preferences, but of course, generally, we want someone who chooses us every day. We want someone who gives you that kind of love and attention and chooses to be by your side at any kind of situation. And that, I think that is just like the standards of what you want from a person.
Also, this is like this season of their life happened not in 2025. It happened in like what, 1980s.
Yeah, I forgot the timeline. I think
it's the 1980s. I believe so. So obviously different lah at the time, right? Men and ambition and like opportunities as well.
And for his character to exist then with this personality is very, very profound, because everybody back then used to always be very chauvinistic. They were very macho about like how men should always be the ones leading women. Men should be the ones being presidents. Men should be the one, being like leaders.
Yeah.
But this guy, he was not afraid to be the support for Aesun, who wants to be the leader for so many things.
Yeah, because they said, Aesun, what do you want to be when you grow up? She said she want to be president, and he said he want to be the first gentleman. I was like, oh my god, that is so cute. Yeah. Which is quite a flip of switch, I feel, when it comes to the role of a male in the society. And that was very refreshing, that they didn't make him want to also be the alpha in the relationship.
It shows us how a relationship can definitely work, like without the guy always being the alpha. And I'm not saying that it's good or bad, it's really just that there's that possibility of the guy just being soft, and he basically he didn't bow down to her. He wasn't lower than below her. He just wanted to be in the same wavelength as her, the same position as her, and just be level.
like be next to her,
Yeah.
right? Just
Be her
hold her
friend.
hand and walk through this thing called life.
Yeah, absolutely
That was
beautiful.
so nice because I think, I don't know, especially with the whole modern dating, you want a man who can provide for you, you want a man who does everything for you, and also then there's this sugar baby culture, sugar daddy culture, where the male is the provider, and we talk about male being providers, and it's become a norm, right? So that's why maybe watching this makes us feel like, oh wait, it can be a different way. It doesn't need to be like what everyone else says.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of us, as much as maybe a lot of people want a material
Your life.
provider,
Yeah.
emotional support and to be able to be available emotionally is so important to
Yeah.
so many of us, not just women.
Yeah.
Right. But as a woman, to have someone who's emotionally available and to support you there is what Kwan Shik really is.
Yeah.
That's the essence of him.
He, like, you know that scene where obviously this time I think they're married already, and then the mother-in-law was being so mean to her. Oh, and I was feeling, oh my God, I'm like, that's my biggest nightmare actually. A mean mother-in-law who hates me. I swear to God, I've dated men where the mother is not. I'm typically quite good with mothers, like as in like the boyfriend's mothers. I'm typically, but there was this one where the mom wasn't so approving of my choice of career lah, you know, in the entertainment industry. They really think that you need to sleep with people to get things. Like the mentality was very 1970s, I think. So she think you need to sleep with people to get what you want, to get jobs, but that's not the case anymore, auntie. Sorry, I can provide for myself. But anyway, so that was really hard because I had to really hide my potential and ambition in front of her. I kind of like have to dumb it down. And sometimes there was one time I watched this is back in the days, right? I acted in a little series and it was on TV. And I was so excited and I told everyone, okay, my episode is coming. I was just like cameo in one of the episode. Imagine like a series of 10 episodes. I was like in episode 7. So today is episode 7. I got everybody come watch with me. And then the mom was like, oh, you fat already, ah? Oh, why your role like that, ah? So
Your partner's mom?
yeah, my ex-partner's mom at the time. This was many, many years ago. So I was like, oh, I don't know. I think on screen you do gain some pounds, right? So wasn't the most supportive, but again, she wasn't mean. But I just know that she wasn't the most embracing or happy with the choice of my career at the time. So from then on, that gave me my biggest nightmare: mean mother-in-laws. So back to what I was gonna say. Asun was saying something, and then Kwan Shik was like, it's okay. You go flip the table and I will what?
Clean up after you.
I will clean up after you.
Yeah.
That was so big for me.
Yeah, that was so big. And he also said this to the mom, which is, he told the mom, she's not here to be your mother, to be your daughter-in-law.
She's here to be my wife.
She's here to be my wife and not your daughter-in-law.
Wow.
And he was like, so I won't let her see you anymore if you treat her like this.
Yeah.
Because she's here to be my wife. Then the mom's like, what about me? Like, who's going to care about me if you care for your wife? He's like, that's your husband's job.
Yes. Honey.
Bro.
Say it louder for the people out there.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That scene, actually I rewatched that scene because it was so satisfying.
Yeah.
It was so satisfying, and obviously I'm trying to manifest it for myself.
And I think for us watching it, it's not just the feeling of like, yeah, I want someone to do that for me. It shows you the power of what the relationship can be when you can also be that person for your partner.
Yeah, and obviously as it progressed, their relationship also became better.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So can you imagine if he took the mother's side, he would have lost the love of his life. Oh man, then you just got me thinking about all the mommy's boys that you know cannot what do you call it? They will always pick the mom's side because I understand, but I think there's a line to draw, right?
Yeah.
When it's really too much, when you're say in this context, your girlfriend or your wife is really being bullied and you know it's unfair, like unfair expectation of what the mother needs her to be. I think as a partner, if I'm the man, I would also stand up for my partner.
Yeah. So sometimes maybe, you know, the men also have their own traumas that they
For
go
sure.
through.
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, it's communication.
Yeah.
Like you just need to tell the partner that, hey, I need you to step up for me. But if you don't, and that's your choice, then you choose what you want in your life.
Correct. Like if you know this partner is not someone that you know for sure will have your back when shit happens, then you gotta make a choice for yourself. I think that is so important. But Kwanshik, straight up, it's okay. You go out there and flip the table. I clean up after you. My God.
Because women of the era, they're
No.
not used to them flipping tables.
Correct.
They will always set up the table nicely and everything. But you know what? Change the game. Flip the table. I'll clean up after you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And it's not about asserting power. It's really just about protecting your peace and protecting your heart and just drawing boundaries. It's not that Asun is better than a mother-in-law, but the mother-in-law was really too much, correct?
And
So-
I think it's also important to realize that for them to draw the boundary, and this is a lesson for many of us too, to draw a boundary doesn't mean that you don't love your family anymore.
That's true. That's
Right.
true.
There's always a fine line in drawing the boundary and also respecting them still and say, hey, this is what I think is for me, but that does not mean that I love you any less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then it brought back to present where Kim Young is now in the picture, where they had the the lunch with the future in-law. She is then also faced with a mean mother-in-law. Oh, that really hurt me, that one.
That one was really mean.
That was so mean. Actually, that was more mean than what Asun had.
the mum had.
Oh, that was so mean. She, how do you feel when you watch that scene?
When I don't know, like for me, I can never imagine being with a partner whose mom is like that.
Oh man.
Like, I've never had that experience
Okay,
myself.
me too, thank God.
But for me to be her and to have dinner with my partner's family and for my partner's family to talk to me like that,
Yeah.
I will be heartbroken. But I think I absolutely get where Kim Young is coming from too. She's trying to be like likable. So she's trying to hold it in. She's not trying
Yeah.
to say anything. But I would hate
No.
for me to be in that position.
Yeah, for sure. And then her partner, on the flip side, this time didn't really stand up for her.
You know what the partner did the whole time?
What?
Harmony. Like mom.
Oh yeah.
All the partner did in all these situations where the
Just-
partner was being bullied by the mom
Yeah.
was mom, stop, mom.
Yeah, didn't do. He just talked lah.
Yeah. He didn't say anything. He was just mom the whole time. He just
Yeah.
called the mom's name.
Like mom, like do something, bro.
Yeah. He's like, can you at least say, mom, stop it?
Yeah.
Like, don't do this anymore.
Yeah. So I think he's scared too because the mom is quite assertive, right?
Yeah.
No, that lunch scene, older Kwanshik, gave him a look
yeah. Like,
to say, go help your future wife out.
yeah.
And all he did was, mom,
Yeah.
I think.
He tried to help, but like he was also, then the mom was not happy that he was trying to help, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, his own mother.
His own mom was not
What's his
happy.
name again? I forgot. Anyway, it's not important. Nah.
I remember. Chong Sok.
Who's Chong Sok? Oh, Chong Sok. What's his name? The real
Kim Sono.
Yeah, Kim Sono plays her actual husband, right? Ayo, he's
Okay, let's go there in a bit.
Okay. But I guess another lesson I learned from this show really is love doesn't always need to be in all the big gestures. It's like love does not need to be loud. Sometimes the loudest love is the silent ones.
I know. I
Oh
think
my
so
God, I cry so
too.
bad, I tell you. Okay, which part you cry like crazy?
Okay, so throughout the episodes, I guess there were two parts that really touched me. The part where I guess Aesun couldn't, not Aesun,
Kim Young?
when Kim Young had to part ways and she had to make a choice for herself to leave the partner because the partner wasn't showing up for her.
The first love.
And then when the second one was when the dad died.
Oh fuck, that broke me.
The part where the dad passed, I was like,
So Nat, actually, can I tell?
yeah.
So y'all can go to her TikTok because she didn't post on IG Reel. She actually recorded herself in a time lapse watching one of the episodes.
The last episode, because everyone was like, okay, last episode is bad. And I'm like, how bad can it be? So in that TikTok, I put the time lapse there and I was like, bro, it's okay, what? So I was just like watching, I was like bored. Then you can see in fast.
she gradually ugly cried to the extent of ugly.
Yeah,
And
I had to like,
so
I had to like, it's okay. Ooh.
she's in the same position lying down, but she's like, yeah. I can see it was so
Yeah.
funny.
I
Oh
think
my
it's
God.
because I think Kwan Shik old version reminded me a lot of my own dad.
Oh yeah.
My dad shows up for me in all the ways that Kwan Shik in the show shows up. He's everything.
He is.
He's silently there. Not all love is loud. He's always just looking after me. Every time I bow down to like tie my shoelace, he's always behind me. He doesn't walk past me always, all the time. I know it, and sometimes I'm like, "Oh, just go, it's okay, just go." But I don't say it like because I know it's out of love. But he always does everything just quietly.
And you say sometimes, you guys have this like weekend shopping, window shopping, or going to malls to hang out with family, and your dad, even every time you say you want to go toilet, your dad will kind of follow you.
Yeah, he would just pretend like he's looking at stuff, but he's following me.
He's like, in the vicinity, make sure the daughter is
I don't
okay.
think he even does that for my mom. He's just like, oh, can we go together? I'm like, yeah, okay. Bro, I'm 35. I'm like, bro, I can go to the toilet myself. But then when he does that, I feel I'm half. Like, I'm just like, I can go to the toilet on my own.
But you don't want to take it
But
for
like, I don't want to be like, Dad, I can do it. So
Yeah.
I just let him do because I guess he feels good doing it.
Yeah.
But when I come, like, okay.
Actually, your dad is a Kwan Shik. Actually.
He's so much, for me at least.
Yeah.
He's a dad that is always there quietly. He doesn't, he will maybe not take the food on the table because he wants you to have like the food on the table if there's not a lot of food. He shows up in every single moment. So I think that sort of sets quite a good standard for like how a partner could be.
Yeah. I think it's nice that you have that in your life.
Yeah.
That's so nice. So when I heard that about Nat's dad, Uncle Thomas, shout out. He's really, really a sweet man, I would say.
Yeah, I
He
think
doesn't
so.
speak much, but when he speaks up, it matters.
Yeah. So but I guess my dad won't be like Quan Shi where he's like, why you follow her?
Yeah.
He'll be like, oh, okay, follow.
Her dad is a very soft-spoken man.
So I think I'm kind of wary, like if my partner, of course I want my parents to like my partner, right? So, but I also feel like my dad sets sort of this standard. Where I feel like it's not that they don't do okay, Dad. It's not that they are not good enough. Sometimes it's just different people. So I always feel like, oh, but my dad does this. So,
But do you think he imposed his own standard onto your partners?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't
so
think so.
that's okay.
Yeah.
But maybe he just in his brain at least reached my standard. If not, I will say something. Maybe.
I don't know.
You
My
never know.
dad has never done that.
Correct.
Before.
He's like a quiet man. So,
Yeah.
So let me just see. I'll be your dad for you. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Uncle Thomas is really sweet, and it's so nice to have a father like that because then because like your baseline is strong. At home you're being treated right, so that's why your choice of relationship, it will never go that bad.
I always say it like it's an internal joke I make with myself. I make with myself.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm like, oh, see, I'm getting princess treatment again. It feels kind of weird at this age, but you know that you are treated very well at
That's
home.
so nice. I think I'm very happy you have that because obviously I think by now most of y'all would know that I grew up with a single mom, so also my dad wasn't a great role model. So like I'm on the flip side, right? I grew up watching quite not so nice things that my dad has done, so I didn't grow up with a healthy role model. But watching this show made me feel like I want to find a father for my kid like Quan Shi. Maybe not exactly like him, but like the whole showing up and speaking kindly and having the best for you, your best interest for you, and not all the big gestures but the small gestures. So the scene that really killed me, this was the last episode. Again, if you guys are not there yet, don't listen to me, come back again. After Quan Shik died, unfortunately, last episode already, she went home and she want to cook, and then she went to the kitchen, she going to open the cabinet. So usually her entire life she would reach out to the highest tier because that's where the things are. Then she realized, why is nothing there? And she realized it's all in a lower tier so she can reach.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
husband
God.
set everything down to the lower compartment. In fact, it felt like a newly built compartment so
Newly
that
built.
she can reach.
Correct. Wow, I want to tear thinking about it because I'm like, the extent of his love and thought goes beyond his own lifetime. He wants to take care of her even after she's gone because he knows that she won't be tall enough to reach. He's a taller man. He wants to make sure the wife is okay. I'm just like, wow, will my husband do that for me?
You will have that for sure. I
Yeah.
think it's always in the small thoughts, in the
Yeah.
little things, especially for us girls. It's always in
Yeah.
the little
For-
things.
yeah.
And we always say it's the thought that counts.
Correct.
So that was absolutely an effect of, or an action followed after a thought. Like he
Yeah.
was thoughtful for how something may fall on her after. So that's why he did that.
Yeah, and that is so nice. I think in my previous solo episode I talked about, consistency. And it's not the big gestures. Everybody can do big gestures. Once in a
Yeah.
while you do,
Yeah.
And then what about the in-betweens? I rather have small consistency efforts. And then when I watch the show, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Consistency. Like the lock at the door, he makes sure it's like fixed so that she doesn't need to worry about it after he's gone. Stuff like that. Wow, that scene broke me because it was a lot. The tears were coming. Woo.
Yeah, consistency. And Kwan Shik was consistent for sure. He's been like that since he was a primary school kid, all the way up
Yeah.
to his last breath.
Yeah, and I think it has, I want to say, does it have to do with upbringing? Because his dad's not like that. So sometimes it really is your own character and what you choose to want to be.
Yeah, so I think what Kwan Shik did was he chose.
I think he chose. He chose.
Do I think that he was happy with Esun the whole time? No. I think he's had days where he's like, oh my God, you're a handful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is like, you're too much.
Yeah.
But I think he chose her every single day.
Oh man.
He chose to dedicate his partnership with her.
Yeah. I was talking to about this to somebody the other day. Like, in a relationship, in the beginning, will always be butterflies, fun, and like everything is exciting. But that excitement really will fade away. It will, no matter how great and healthy that relationship is. You give the greenest forest, greenest relationship, it will still happen. Boredom will kick in.
Yeah. One day you will be like, this is quite boring.
Yeah, it's like, but then it's about being bored together then.
Yeah.
Why
learn
not?
to be bored together, learn to experience and enjoy boredom with one another.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by choosing. You don't choose just the fun parts.
Yeah.
You choose to be in all the highest moments,
Yeah.
the lowest moments, and
Yeah.
you just choose to be together. And that's the beauty of Kwan Shik and Esun. They went through a lot of stuff,
So much.
but at the end, did they choose to just be with one another despite everything they went through? Yes, they did.
Yeah. Remember what I text you? So I every time I watch the show, I'll text Nat if I know she's watching the same show and make sure like she's on the same episode, then we can discuss some things together. But then there was this text I text her and I said, Nat, this show really got me thinking about the question we always ask each other. Would you rather choose someone with no money but can love you so well, but your life's gonna be hard, or someone who's rich but the love is, maybe that mommy's boy where you're going to go through a hard life with a difficult mother-in-law. Which one would you pick? And I don't know, this show kind of gave us an answer because we've got the other couple, the captain that Aesun almost got married into. He's got money, but he does not love well.
Yep.
And after all those years, don't forget the mic.
Oh, yep.
Then after all those years, the woman that was in the richer family, but husband don't love as well, wow, she's not happy at all. And the age shows on her face.
Absolutely.
The sadness.
I think it also falls back to what we all want, right? I think you and I, very clearly, we want partnership.
Yeah.
We want love.
Yeah.
So that's why for us, I guess, in this context, we choose a Kwan Shik. For some people, I've met a lot of people, in
Really?
fact, they're quite adamant that money fixes everything.
Okay.
and I don't need love. I just need money, because with money, I can live my own life. I don't care about my partner. As long as I am guaranteed money, I will use that money to live my own life. I don't care about my partner. But that's not what...
It's not a partnership
That's
anymore.
not partnership.
Yeah.
So they are really literally marrying into the family or to the guy for the materialistic goals.
You know what? I don't want to say I would judge them for that. Like, that's your choice.
No, absolutely.
right?
So that's
I don't
why
judge. I
it
understand.
depends on what you want in life. But for sure, I think a lot of us, we want partnership. We want
Yeah.
companionship that is true to us,
Yeah.
and something that can last us a lifetime.
Yeah, I think I would choose partnership. I want to choose someone who would be on the same team as me.
For sure. But of course, you know, like marrying a really good guy, but he's so lazy and he doesn't want to get his butt up. He just wants to sleep
Okay.
all day long. Nah, that's
Of
not
course
that's
not.
not gonna work for me.
No.
Right? But a good guy who tries, as long as he tries, and he doesn't wait for the fish to be served on the plate, he tries to go and fish, right? That's all it takes. It doesn't matter if you come back with just one fish.
That's true. As long as there's a fish for the
You're
day.
disciplined. You have that
Drive.
the drive to just move on with life and just make things happen. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that proactive initiative, to take initiative, to want to do things and not just yeah, you're right. I agree with that. I think it's quite complex, like this question. But at the end of the day, I would say, if I can earn my own money, that's what someone told me, right? These days, women can earn their own money, can pay their own bills, own their own car, can buy their own house. So obviously, we don't need to rely on men for that anymore. Time has changed, which is why women these days are looking for love and companionship. Correct? Yeah.
Absolutely. And they're no longer binded by the fact that, like, oh, will this person be able to provide for me? And that's why standards are now higher, because you're no longer looking at just the aspects of support, like a life support.
Yeah.
You are looking at emotional aspects. That's why I said emotional support is absolutely important to a lot of us these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it really depends on what you want. But for me, being on the same team is very, very big for me. Like, I need you to be on my team and do this together. Otherwise, I think, based on my past experiences, the moment you're not on the same team, it just becomes harder.
What does it mean for you to be on the same team?
I think it's not always necessarily agreeing to everything. I could disagree with you. I don't think this is the best decision, but I will support you because you like it. This thing may annoy me, but because I love you, and it's not a bad thing, obviously, you're not talking about drugs or like alcoholism or anything like that, but like something as small as, let's say, traveling lah. Want to go to this country, but I don't want to go, but because I love you, I'll do it for you. That's important. Like, being on the same team, do it for me as well in a relationship, because that goes a long way. Because then in the future, I also want to do it for you too. Like, you're not doing it because, what am I saying anymore? Do I make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, obviously there are things that I don't like about someone, but because I love you,
You make exceptions.
I make exception
that doesn't cross your own boundary.
Yeah, for reasonable reasons, within reasonable means, to do it.
And I think that's what partnership is. That's what
Yeah.
a collaboration is.
Yeah.
You put two things together, you come to, and you create your own identity together as one.
Yeah.
All right, healers, can I be honest with you? I'm not really a foundation girly, but foundation that feels like skincare, now that's a different story. So if you've always wanted makeup that doesn't feel like makeup, because that's me, the Nars Light Reflecting Cushion Foundation might just be your new bestie. Now, I have been using it for a couple of months now, so that I can now say I'm head over heels for it, tried and tested. It's packed with this amazing triple C brightening complex that uses vitamin C to brighten your skin in gently, and the finish is so skin-like. It's like second skin. Now, all thanks to the skincare coated pigments, it blends right in and gives you that natural, radiant glow without feeling cakey or heavy. It's breathable, it's hydrating, and it just feels so good on the skin. Plus, it also has cacao peptides and moringa seed to help protect your skin from those blue light and pollution, because yes, that is a thing, and camellia flower extract to boost hydration, smoothness, and elasticity over time. And here's a bonus. It also has SPF 42, so you are covered on sun protection too. So if you're looking for foundation that gives you that gorgeous dewy finish, give the Nars Light Reflecting Cushion Foundation a go. Or better yet, try out yourself. I've got you sorted with a flash cushion makeover session at your nearest NARS store. All you have to do is mention the code HOH4NARS and you'll get a free makeover to find your perfect shade. All on me. I got you, girl. Again, it's HOHFOR NARS. Just say HOH for NARS, okay? Simple. Terms and conditions apply. Now back to the episode.
Okay, another element on the show that I feel like overall it's about grief, right? Then first volume was grief of losing a mother. Second, oh my god, losing the kid.
Losing the kid is something that I realized a lot of my friends with kids, they absolutely bawled on that
Really?
episode. Yeah.
I didn't, because obviously we don't have kid. I don't relate it to as much, but it's sad. Oh, yeah. Then the third one was the first love, losing love, and
losing a partner, and then it's losing a parent.
father. But another element of grief that was also kind of like throughout the show is the grief of your dreams.
Ooh, yes.
Because I feel like both of them had to sacrifice their own dreams. I'm talking about Aesun and Kwan-shik in their own ways. So we all know Aesun wants to be a poet. She wants to go to college, but in the end, she didn't get to do any of that. While what's Kwan-shik's interest of? I forgot.
That was only revealed towards the end. He actually had a love for cars. He had a love for watches, but we never saw him do anything to do with those two things throughout the show. All he ever had was a boat.
Yeah. And he did that because he wanted to
Survival for family.
Provide for the family, not for himself. So in some ways, he sacrificed his own dreams to support Aesun's also, right? Yeah, and there was one part in the show where she almost married into the rich guy for family so that she can go to college. But at the end of the day, she chose Kwan-shik again. But yeah, I feel like that is something that's so relatable in real life too, because there are a lot of times where I wonder, right, if my mom had to sacrifice her own dream. I don't even know what's my mom's dream.
I don't either.
Do you know?
No, I don't know what my parents... Oh!
Wait.
I once asked my dad what he wants to be. He said he wants to be a tour guide.
That's so cute.
My mom, maybe she would be a fashion designer, I guess.
Oh yeah, actually Nat's mom is very fashion.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I do know that, you know, to build a family, she, of course, mom decided to not do any of those things, and she decided to build a family and raise me. Yeah. I don't know if it's a sacrifice she chose to make, but yeah, our parents must have had dreams, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I think about it a lot. Like, my mom sacrificed a lot to provide for me and my sister growing up. And obviously she had me when she was like 23. So I can only imagine how, if I'm this ambitious, I'm quite sure my mom will not fall far. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a very driven, ambitious person. It has to come from somewhere. And I wonder, you know what? I'm going to go back and ask my mom. I don't know what's her dream. I really don't know. But I know she sacrificed a lot for me and my sister. And she'll always be very proud when we achieve something. My mom kind of left school when she was like in form 2. Because I think they needed, she's in a family of 6. So they needed the kids to work, because I think my grandpa at the time was falling ill, so only my grandma was working, and my mom was one of the elder sisters, like the middle child. So she had to drop out of school to provide for the family, and she just never went back. So that's why, you know, with limited education, her access to work also is very limited, but damn, she still managed to raise both her daughters so fine. So like, I really like props her for that.
Yeah, both of you are doing really well.
Yeah.
You and your sister, and I'm sure your mom's very proud.
Yeah. Okay, have you thought about how sometimes now that you're an adult, you realize, oh my God, I'm just like my mom?
Oof, I'm so not like my mom.
Really? I'm
I
sure
think
there
so.
are some parts that you don't realize.
No, I think I'm really different from my mom. I'm very much like my dad.
Same lah, both parents ma.
Oh, okay, sorry. You said mom.
Yeah, example lah. Parent lah.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm very much like my dad. Yes.
Okay.
I won't say it's trauma.
No, that's not trauma, sorry. But that's like,
Yeah.
we really take after our parents.
Yeah, we do take after our parents. We take after the little things that they do
Yeah.
that we don't realize. And you're right. Some things, the way you decide on things, the way you. So, okay. Do you think you base your life off like curiosity, fear, fun, enjoyment? Like, what do you think is like a common theme of the way you make decisions? Is it about like a new experience? Like, what is the theme of something you've realized you go back to when it comes to making decisions for yourself?
Oh.
Before you start a podcast, before you start something new, whatever decisions you make that is a little bit of a big step, what is the first thing that comes in your head?
Wow. I don't know. I think for me it's like, do I like to do it? For my podcast lah.
With the very limited years of friendship with you, I think you always ask one question and you're like, can I do it well?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, what if people don't like it?
Yeah.
Right. So it's maybe a lot of concern for acknowledgement of I don't know, acknowledgement of the project. It revolves around
what's the word? Validation.
yes, validation.
I think growing up I didn't get a lot of validation in life. In general, just because my parents were never around. So like report card day, actually no one ever shows up. Like we have standard 1 to 10 Malaysian education. I went to public school, standard 1 to standard 6, from 1 to from 5. Report card day, I'm the last one to leave classroom every single time.
Why?
Because no one will come and take. I will just collect myself. I mean, I did. There were some years my friend's parent take on my behalf so I can go home earlier. Because if your parents come you'll be the first to leave class that day, right? So I will always be the last one, and teacher will. By the 3rd or 4th year, people already know. My teacher will already know. Yep, Magdalene, it's okay. You just do a homework lah today, because they know no one's gonna come. Stop. Yeah, it was hard. Oh fuck. Well, thinking back, I'm quite sad for my younger self because I don't think I can imagine seeing my kid go through that. Can you imagine? You have a child and then you know the kid is just the last one to like leave classroom because no one will come for. So for me, that's why I don't know why. Maybe growing up, I just always wanted validation because no one gave it to me. Like my results all damn good, okay, but I go home to myself like no one will tell me I did a good job. No one will, only my teacher lah, obviously. And I'll always aim to get the top 10 in the entire school, and usually I do, but like I don't really get much validation. So I guess maybe that's why towards the end of high school I rebelled a little. I'm like, for what? I go home to no one telling me that I did a good job, no one appreciating my efforts. I studied so hard for what? Up to PMR, I still got straight A's, but I fucked up in SPM. I only got 5 A's. No, like I'm not a terrible kid, to be honest, but like I started mixing with the wrong crowd and skipping school in the last 2 years of my secondary school, and yeah, so then I realized, no, this is not me, cannot. The fact that SPM didn't do so good, I realized I can't bear it. I can't bear the bad job I did. I'm like, why? I can do so good. Why do I allow myself to go through this? So it's almost like I go through all these lessons by myself. I learn these life lessons by myself without a parental figure telling me, this is so bad. I just had it in me somehow because maybe I'm forced to build that system in me. So until now, when I'm working, I will just criticize myself. I'll make sure, is this a good job? Is this a bad job? I don't really have a guidance one.
Yeah.
So that's how it came from.
That's a common pattern I realized that you go through. And even though you're doing a really good job, you always like, Nat, is this imposter syndrome? I'm like, bro, you're doing so much at a really good speed, but you're like, oh, but maybe people don't like this, maybe people don't like that. And at the end of the day, I think you're one of your confidence has grown so much throughout the years, and I'm sure people see it too. It goes across the screen, but I see that the common theme of everything you do is also based on validation.
Yeah, I do.
Whether it is your own internal validation
Or other people.
or the people watching it.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair for all of us to evaluate something that we always choose as the core of the way we make decisions.
Yeah.
Like maybe for me, it could be fear and safety, for example. Like every time I do something, I'm like, oh, Maggie, should I go to your house? Oh, but is it like dangerous around your place? Because my parents has always instilled a sense of fear in me, in the sense that, oh, you got to be aware that people may be bad guys may be out there. My grandma has always said, when you mix with friends, don't drink whatever they drink. No matter how close they are with you, don't drink their water. Or like from young, it's always like instilling fear. So
now that you're an adult.
As I'm an adult, I realize that pattern right now, and I'm like, hey, those are really good advices, but I need to also come out from that and know that fear is not something that exists, that should guide my choices.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, really, so much of who we are today, I say this so much, has to do with how we were brought up. And like you said, this sense of fear, always looking out for something, even though danger is not there, is really like so conditioned in you, and it's so hard to unlearn. And for me to unlearn the need for validation is also damn hard one.
Yeah.
Like, to not care about whether or not I did a good job is like impossible, I think. Whether maybe I can like not seek validation externally, but internally, I always beat myself up.
Yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from. Oh, that's such a good question. I've never really tapped on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but parents are really they are there for you during your years of formation of your character.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they are very important models and role models in our lives. So that's why we say when you're not ready to be a parent, and nobody actually is truly ready to be a parent, because as a parent, you grow up with your kid. Like a recent conversation I had with my mom is that, Mom, you and I are very different, but I understand some things that you are worried about and that I'm also worried about. You're also learning it for the first time, because you're also experiencing it for the first time as a mom.
Yeah.
So I don't blame you
Yeah.
for all the worries that you have. I'm not going to stop you from like saying, Mom, you're just thinking too much. But you also got to know that I understand it's your first time, but let's figure it out together.
Yeah. Yeah, it just got me thinking about my mom, because she became a mother so young, 23, right? She gave birth to me at 23. And then I remember this quote from the show where Kam Yong said, this is as she's growing up into adult, started working just before she became a mom. She said, this is a monologue. You know how she does a lot of monologue, a voiceover? She says, I thought that once you grew up, your hands and heart would naturally become calloused. You know how when you go to gym,
get
calluses, right? But everything is still too hot for me. I get burned every day, but it hurts every time. Am I the only fool in the world? Is there anyone else adulting just fine? And that is everyone. That is all of us now, even in our 30s, you know? And I can only imagine, like you said, your mom was being a mom for the first time. You're the first child.
Yeah.
I was the first child. She didn't know how to be a mom.
Exactly.
Like, motherhood is part of adulting.
Yeah.
Our producer, can I share? Our producer is also was a very young mom, is a very young mom. She gave birth really, really young too. So like, you've got to figure all this out on your own.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not really an age matter. You can be 40, a mom for the first time, and still don't know anything.
Exactly. So that's why they say even when you have siblings, you get a different set of parents. Like they don't grow up with the same set of parents.
Oh my God. I never thought about that.
Yeah, because after you, your mom has had you for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Now she knows how to like deal with a kid. And now she's actually a different mom to your sister. So they would have different dynamics too.
That is very true. My mom calls my sister baby. She cannot call me that. And I cringe when she calls me that.
Yeah, I think because we're also the firstborn, and they always find that they need to be a strong self in
Yeah.
order to assume the role of a mom, right? They need to be the toughest with us.
Yeah.
They're very careful with us, actually, I think.
Yeah.
But then they realize, actually, you can sort of like soften it a bit
Yeah.
and things like that. And so that's why our siblings who are younger typically gets the softer approach.
Kind of.
They kind of give in a little bit more to the sibling.
Yeah. My sister gets away with way more than I do for sure. I mean, she would disagree, but anyway. I feel like there is this part of us as daughters or like kids, we always feel like our parents can do more.
Well, I don't know. I think my parents have done a really good job.
Now
for
I
me.
think so. When I was younger, I always feel like, why is my life so hard? Why is everyone else like so good? Always have their parents around. Why does my mom need to work overseas? Why does it need to be like that? Why does she always need to be away from me? Why my life has to be like this? But now as an adult, now that I understand her struggles and everything, I'm like, damn, she's away because that's the only way she could provide for you. She couldn't have earned the money she earned in the small town in Ipoh had she stayed with you. That's why she went to the bigger city so that she can have more job opportunity. But like as a kid, I didn't appreciate that. I hate it. I only see my mom like 2 times a year.
Wow.
From the age of 7 until 17. I'm not even joking. A big chunk of my life, fully highly independent. That's why even today, I'm a very solo person, super hyper independent. But in fact, my therapist said that a bit too much. Like too much that, it's either the moment I start relying, I rely fully. I don't know how to just manage my reliance on someone because I never had it. Right. The moment I have someone, I feel safe, I go all out and then I get my heart broken. Do I make sense? Like my spectrum is all out or nothing because of that. But yeah, I guess, see, it just shows that both of us have such different upbringing, right?
Yeah.
I never asked you how's yours like, to be honest, even though we've been friends for a while.
I think my parents have been very present for me at every stage of my life. I've never really wondered why they're not there. Both my parents were available for me at all times.
Wow.
And I think that's why, and we have this thing, and I'm sure this thing every Sunday without fail, it's family day.
Yeah.
Until today.
It's so cute.
It doesn't matter if Maggie wants to have like me hanging out with her to play pickleball on a Sunday.
Cannot.
She already knows if it's a Sunday, it's a no. It's 4 of us, my brother, me, and my parents. We will always be out in malls. We will be hanging out, having a meal. We will be just doing anything. But Sundays is something that my mom always said, like, okay, we should have this Sunday to ourselves. Sometimes I feel constricted. Sometimes I feel like, but my friends are only available on weekends. And that means I only have one Saturday to hang out with my friends. So I feel like, but just this Sunday, I want to go out with I do have that sometimes, but I still appreciate that commitment we make to one another. And my brother's also like a big boy now, but we still commit that Sunday to each other.
Yeah.
We hang out with a lot of my parents' friends every Sunday still. We are literally the only kids who's still hanging out with them. So I think that's why I think I have a very strong bond with the family. Because of how available they were, I don't feel like I have resentment towards them. In fact, let me tell you a very quick short story of what made me feel, and I don't think my parents know about this, and if at any point my mom watches this, I guess this is where she gets to know for the first time. One point in my life when I was 13 was when I decided, you know what? I'm going to be a really good girl.
So were you a bad girl before that?
When I was 12, 13, I was listening to a lot of Avril Lavigne. I put a lot of do not enter in all my boxes. I was like, I think this is time where I gotta rebel. But I don't even know how to do it. It's not in my personality. But like when I was it's a long story, but I try to keep it short. Okay, I don't even know if you know the story.
I don't think I know.
Maybe you know, but okay, when I was 13, how old was I? Don't know, 13, 14, or maybe 15, somewhere there. I was, 15. I was one day out with my friends, and for whatever reason, we were trying to celebrate the end of the year, and my school had like a field trip to like somewhere, like a holiday. And just to emulate the experience of an adult, we all went shopping.
Oh, I think I know.
But we didn't shop. We were trying to pretend like we could afford everything in the mall. And we started putting things in the cart. And we're like, what if we just walked out of this place without paying?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this role play experience is fun. Let me just put it there. I thought it was role playing, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, let's put this. We put like color pencils. We put like blankets. We put towels. We're like, adulting is so much fun. You don't even need to look at the price tag. And as my friends were all picking stuff to put in the cart to bring to our like getaway, I was like, I feel kind of hungry. So I'm going to go get a piece of chicken at KFC. Be right back. I was queuing for my chicken in KFC when I saw my stupid friends push out the cart out all the way to the exit, clearly haven't paying.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, why are they pushing the cart out? Looking. And then I saw a guard staring at them. And now the guard is after them. I'm like, I'm queuing here, but like, my friends are about to be caught stealing. So dumb. And now I see them get the whole commotion of them getting caught. And I'm like, shit, what's going on? And I'm still buying my KFC in the queue, right?
You were buying for everyone.
Just myself, because I was hungry.
KFC saved
And I was
you.
just buying. And then I'm just looking. And like, wait, they all got caught. Like, a whole huge commotion got there. They got dragged away. And now I'm like, what do I do? Do I leave?
Or join.
Or like, what do I do? So what would you do?
So they got caught.
They all got caught. They
So
all
the
got
security
into a room.
all came.
All came. It
Police?
was like just security for now.
Okay.
Clearly they were hostile. They were like angry and things like that. I'm like, what do I do? We're all in school uniforms, by the way.
Example of the things they stole or what?
Like blankets,
Oh.
pencils, snacks, like household stuff. Like they were buying for a new house.
Okay.
Okay?
Trying to be adults.
I was trying to be adults. So what I did was I went to the guard. I'm like, I'm in the same school uniform.
And then?
I'm with them.
Stupid.
So they're like, you are also a thief. You pun curi.
And then?
I'm like, how do I answer this question?
You technically didn't.
I didn't think that it was real. But then he put me in the room. And now in the room is like this uncle smacking the table. He's like, you are churi. Like, you all was stealing. You got to pay us back, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to call your parents. And I'm like, don't call my parents. My parents will be so heartbroken.
Oh, you think that they'll be heartbroken?
Yeah,
Not
I'm
that
like-
they will scold you.
No, I'm like, my parents will be so heartbroken. Please don't call them. So I was like, do you have money? Let's just pay for this and get out.
Yeah.
My friend had a lot of money in her wallet. I was like, pay for this first. And she's like, this one I need to pay my electric bill. I'm like,
What? Why electric bill at 15? But okay.
I'm like, you don't like pay for this first, get
First, I will
out.
deal with it.
Don't hurt our parents like this. They're like, no, you cannot call our parents. I'm like, exactly. So pay for it 1st. We will figure it out later. Nobody wanted. We didn't have money. We were 15. I had like $20 in my wallet or some shit like that. So at the end, they decided to call our parents. And when the guy decided to call our parents, my dad, as usual, showed up first. He walked in the door. He looked at the guy and he was like, eh?
Huh?
I was like, wait, what? You know this guy? They play football together.
Oh my god.
I was so hurt because
Now it's his friend.
I disappointed my dad
Yeah.
because he had no context of the story. And now like I shame him because because he walks in the door and he's probably so ashamed that his daughter stole something with someone he played football with.
Yeah, like in front of someone he actually knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was so ashamed. Even though I literally did, I think nothing.
Yeah.
I felt so ashamed. I couldn't say anything. And see, I told you it's a long story. So long story short, my dad paid for the stuff that we took.
He paid for everyone.
He said, guys, I'm gonna take half.
Mhm.
I don't know, because I would just want to get my daughter out of here. I'm gonna pay for half. The rest, you guys figure it out. That's fair.
How much was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember how much it was. And then I got in the car. I was like, oh my God, my dad's so going to scold me.
Mhm.
He didn't ask a single thing.
What?
I was like, I didn't take anything. He's like, okay.
He didn't doubt you, nothing.
Nothing. Zero doubt. He was just like, I don't know what happened, but okay. Just go home.
Wow.
I was like, what?
You didn't have to explain yourself?
No questions asked. I said, so I felt the need to. I said, I didn't. I just buying KFC, and then they did. I thought he just wasn't interested. He was just like, it's okay. And then I went home. I'm like, okay lah. This time meet my mother. I'm dead. My mom will be like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
I walked in the door. I'm like, okay. Mom doesn't know. I'll explain. And I was just about to open my mouth. I'm like, she's like, it's okay. Go and shower and like just settle down. I'm like,
I'm so confused.
I'm so confused. Like, wait, what?
My mother will smack me. What were you doing? I think actually I
My
don't know.
mom didn't ask me a single question either.
Usually she would.
My
When you
mom
do
asked
something
me
bad.
everything. I bring back one plastic bag. She's like, what's in the plastic bag? You know? But I think as parents, they knew me so well. I guess they had,
They
they didn't have a doubt
that you
of me
didn't.
that they did not think that I would do anything. That they was just like, as long as you're okay, you feel good, you're not traumatized,
Oh wow.
let it slide, and let's just move on.
Oh wow.
And at that moment before I showered, I was like, I'm going to be a really good girl to my parents. Like
Stupid.
they never doubted me. They loved me,
Yeah.
even in all of these parts.
Yeah.
And I'm going to dedicate my life to my family.
So easy one.
They,
I love it.
They didn't question me. So I felt so touched, and I was just waiting around the next day and the day after, like, maybe now.
Yeah. Yeah, let you
know?
cool first, right? Like deal with
Yeah.
it later. They never.
They never asked me a single question up until today. And when I asked all my friends, my friends all got like really bad from their parents.
Like,
they were like, all your
grounded?
friends are bad. My parents never even said like, your friends are bad, don't mix with them anymore. They were just, I guess they were just like, even if maybe in their hearts, maybe even if it was true, like it's just part of like teenage. Like then you learn from this, then just move on. Things like that. So I appreciated that a lot, and I remember that being a very key moment. It's a core memory. And I remember like, wow, I would want to be a really good girl to my family, and I think that really shaped who I wanted to be for my parents as well.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great strategy, actually. So our producer is saying she's gonna use that if her son does something. He's a teenager now, turning in teenager.
That's my age when that happened to me.
Teenager, yeah. So taking notes, Nat. Thank you. I think you turned out so fine. I'm just laughing because I can imagine Nat's face while showering shortly after getting home. Wow, I'm gonna be a good girl.
Can I breathe now?
I'm gonna be a good girl from now on. That's so funny to me.
There's two moments in my life I had that feeling. One is that one, and the other one is when we went to PWTC once, and my parents brought me that rainbow thing. They bought me this rainbow toy.
Because of that, you want to be a good girl.
I'm like, oh my God, my parents bought me this toy. I'm gonna be a really good girl.
Stupid. She's so...
Two moments, and I remember it was a green thing as I'm playing. Okay, I'm gonna be a really good girl in my life.
Oh my God. Maybe do I have any moments like that?
Yeah.
No,
I'm sure. No, there's what. So I think even it wouldn't be in your past, like your recent experience with your mom, getting to know your mom.
Oh yeah. What happened?
You went to that game, like random game, that football game.
So I want to watch Malaysia game, for the first time with
Yeah.
oh my God, yes. Okay, my turn before we wrap up the episode,
Yeah.
right? Oh, thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot. No, I remember, but yeah. So my whole life, like I said, I did not grow up with my mom. Like the most important formative years of my life was away from my mom. I see her twice a year. Not that she never showed up for me. She had to work, right? Unfortunately, and my dad is a different story. It just reminded me also. Actually, I invited my dad and my mom for my graduation. Do you know how we have
You invited them? What do you mean?
Can you please come for my graduation, for my uni graduation? And for me, it will be the first time in my life, maybe until I get married, that I will have the both of them together watching me do something. In my head, like in my head. So Monash only gave me 2 tickets for the person who can enter the auditorium. My mom came, and then from the top, I kept waiting, I kept looking. My dad never showed up. This is part 2 of the not showing up. Then I called him after, and then he's like, "Oh, sorry, I overslept." Stupid. So, gist of my relationship with my papa. But anyway, coming back to my mom. Yeah, I think recently on my birthday, I decided to gonna go back spend time with my mom, because in my solo episode I said that I've never spent my adult birthday with my mom before.
Wow,
真的 really, really, really. I realized that I don't have. Actually, I feel like it started from when I was a child. Remember, she was away since I was 7. I really do not think, even as teenager, I've never celebrated my birthday with my mom before. So this birthday is like, sangsing already. What's sangsing in English?
You grew up.
I grew up lah. I'm like, you know what? Work will always be there. I only got one mother. I'll only turn this old this one time. Book a ticket, go back to JB. And so happened there is also this Malaysia versus Nepal game that's in Johor. And my mom actually said, "Okay, let's go." Then I said, "But do you watch football?" Yeah. I was so shocked. I was like, "Okay." She made me sound like I asked a stupid question, which was so funny. It's like really getting to know a new friend all over again. And throughout the game, there were so many cute little moments, like her cheering for the goal, she scolded the players because they cannot strike a goal.
She understood the game.
She understood a game. Even I don't understand what a penalty is at first, right? Wow, just one penalty already, like, aiyo. I'm just like, whoa, who are you?
You're getting to know your mom.
No, really, I'm getting to know my mom now in my 30s. That is crazy. So I guess what I can learn too is, hey, it's never too late. It really is never too late. And of course, as I was watching that show, there was also a lot of moments where Kamyong is also just getting to know their parents for the first time. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, like don't take life for granted, man. It's just so easy to take life for granted. It would have been easier to just assume my mom wouldn't want football. I won't even ask her at all. But I'm glad I asked.
I always think just ask. If you don't ask, my dad always told me this, if you don't ask, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know too. So just ask.
Yeah.
So it was such a... And it was the day before my birthday. So like the game happened till past midnight. So I count down till my birthday, and my mom was like, "Happy birthday." And then continue watching the game. And I was just like, oh, why didn't I do it sooner? Why didn't I do this sooner? And she drove all the way, because where we live and where the stadium is like 30 minutes drive. She didn't complain. On the drive back, we even talk about the game some more. I was like, wow.
Building memories.
Like, I have a brand new core memories that is like in a very empty library.
Yeah. I think it's you slowly like really growing up right now. Your heart is now ready to open.
Yeah.
You've filled the cup up yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now you're ready to accept and see your mom for who she is and not blame her for whatever you felt may have been lacking throughout the different parts of your life. So it's so beautiful, and I see that these days you talk about your mom
in a different light.
In a different light, exactly.
Yeah, I used to complain about my mom to Nat all the time.
Yeah, but
just
like
3 years ago.
Yeah, but I think it's all just really small mom things. Mom, like, to asking me to do this, to do that. But I think it's all really just at the end of the day, it's just family, the way your family dynamics have always been. So now we're doing something uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And to change something for the better, I think change always feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you taking the move to ask your mom, like, do you want to actually watch this football? Because if you don't want, it's okay. But
Yeah,
actually your
yeah, I
mom
was like
actually
that.
Yeah.
I was very like, I came in with a somewhat of a negative energy. Are you sure
Mm.
you want to watch or not? If you don't want, it's okay, it's okay.
fear of rejection,
Yeah,
maybe.
I
Like
was
just
the sense of fear of her not wanting to be a part of it. But I think even her, she really enjoyed
Yeah.
spending time with me because honestly, I feel like she's quite lonely.
yeah, I'm sure.
She's alone
Both
all
you
the
and your
time.
sister are here
Yeah.
in KL.
My mom is in Johor by herself, working still, and I'm quite sad at thinking about it sometimes. But I'm glad I got to spend that time with her and really maximize. Zero arguments, which is crazy. If you know me, I always argue with my mom about small things, one.
Yeah.
But this time, no. And even if she did scold me, right, I bit my tongue this time. I was just like, okay, mom.
That's so good. That's
Okay.
so different.
Yeah, that's so different because I'm such a fiery little piece of something,
Mm.
right? I'm like, what? Why you talk to me like that? Why do you have to scold me? But this time she scolded me for a little bit. For honestly, literally 30 seconds of maybe raising our voice. I bit my tongue and I'm like, take a breather. And then it was over. And then she was normal again. I was like, oh,
Done.
it's not that hard. It's so
Yeah.
doable. Just let them be. Also, you know,
Yeah.
when they're older, they're a little bit more impatient.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more forgetful. And we are like, Mom, it's so simple. Why do you not know how to do this? So I guess the lesson here is if we want to break the cycle, we talk about generational trauma all the time. But I guess we cannot expect our parent to do it.
On their own.
No, it has to come from us first because we are way more equipped than they are. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
We are way more affluent and aware when it comes to mental health, when it comes to generational trauma. I'm sure our parents have their own trauma themselves too.
Mhm.
But yeah, the lesson that I've personally learned is I'm slowly breaking the cycle in my own family.
Mm.
And it came from me. It has to come from me.
Yeah.
And I hope, you know, like little things like my sister seeing me do this with my mom also encourages her to also do it herself.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's very nice.
Yeah. So I see a lot of change in that, and I'm
Yeah.
very proud of that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been a journey and I'm glad we are here today and you too with your family. I feel like you've also gone through quite a bit yourself from, you know, like I think just growing up from your 20s to your 30s, like it's just so different. Our relationship with our parents really changes.
Well, I don't know. I feel like my relationship with my parents or family in general feels quite the same.
So good.
Yeah,
I
quite
wish
the
I have
same.
the stability too.
So which brings me to a quick point before we wrap up. I think my parents or family having always been there for me. Now at sports games, and I'm like, well, don't come. It's okay. Don't see me lah. I don't want you to like see when I do my work. I'm like, it's okay. Don't see me.
Yeah.
Don't come and like ask
They
me. I'm
always
okay.
come?
And they're always there.
Oh my god,
So-
yeah. When we do when we posted for Park Seo-joon, they were
They
there.
were there, like
Up
just
there somewhere.
watching.
And oh my god, guys, my Apple Talk, her mom was there too.
Yeah, I was because I told her like, hey Maggie has a talk in Apple. She's like, oh okay, let's go and have a look with my
Yeah,
brother. So we
that's
were all
so
there.
nice.
So I think they are also very happy
Yeah.
for whatever success that everyone has.
Yeah.
So they're happy to just go and see, and they're very involved in whatever that I do. So I feel fulfilled on my own already, and I'm ready to just do things on my own. So that's why when you don't have it, you want it, and when you have too much of it, you're like, you know, it's always the other side.
Yeah.
So
No, Kam Young said this. It's an odd thing. Parents dwell on what they couldn't give, and children dwell on what they couldn't get. Same thing like what you
so
said.
like for you, maybe you want like more love, more
Yeah.
attention. For me, maybe I want like a bit more freedom, a
Yeah.
bit more like
Yeah.
a bit more like leeway for me to
Yeah.
do extra
Yeah.
things. But at the end of the day, it all comes from
Yeah.
different parts of the family, and you
Yeah.
just got to find that balance. And one thing that's most important for us to do, whichever spectrum you're in, is really just drawing the balance. And it may be uncomfortable, but I think that is the point where we break a cycle.
Yeah. Here's to breaking cycles, guys. I know, especially growing up in an Asian family, very traditional, very conservative. There are a lot of things that could be harder. I think it is very possible. It's going to take time though.
For
Like
sure.
it's going to be small steps towards the first crack.
Yeah.
And then maybe 10 more steps towards the second crack.
It feels like a mountain to climb.
Yeah, but when you're there or when you know you're getting there, you can keep going.
Yeah.
But the first few steps is always the hardest. For me to lead up to this football game with my mom, it was a couple of years of like arguing, crying, and not speaking for a few months, and then speak again, and then not speak for a few months, speak again, resentment. And then one day you realize, oh, not so bad leh. Can do. So, I don't know what's the takeaway of this episode. It started with us talking about our favorite K-drama to us getting into our own lives, our family relationship with our parents and our love. But I do really hope that, whoever's listening to this, you will find light in the little tunnel that you're in. It could be, the little struggle you have with your mom or your dad or your sibling or your other half. I feel like there is something for everyone out there.
I think it doesn't matter if the light at the end of the tunnel feels very dim. It's still the light, and there's still an exit.
It's guiding you somewhere. Like you can see that dim light. It
may be just a small dim light, but when you're there, it could be like bright and nice. You just gotta reach there first.
Yeah.
You don't try, you never know. If you stay in the same cycle, it will be the same experience the whole time without any sort of change. It will be the exact same experience.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Exactly.
That's kind of like my motto when it comes to doing things that's difficult. I will have to be the one to change.
I always thought change was bad in a way. So sometimes when maybe in my family, my mom's like, "Hey Nat, you've changed."
Oh,
I took it as an offense because I guess in the family I'm always soft spoken. I'm quiet. I don't say much. But when they say that, I feel like, why? I didn't rebel. I didn't do anything bad. Why do you say I've changed? But I guess as I grow older, I find that it's okay if I speak up a little bit. I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying, I think this could be option B. But then they're like, oh, you've changed, because usually you don't say anything. I found it to be very offensive, and I found like, why would you say I changed? But actually, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It may not necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah.
So
here's to change.
So here's the change.
Yeah. Well,
that's champagne.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm very slow. Thank you. Can we do it again? Cheers. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for today's episode. That was a nice chat with Nat. You guys will see this happen from time to time. Like I'll just have random burst of ideas where I want to bring her on to just talk about something. But I'm glad we talk about this because both of us actually finished the show. It's very long, It's actually quite long. Commitment.
It's a 16 episode. I think it's okay.
Yeah, but it's like an hour plus. Even the last episode, an hour and 40 minutes, I think.
You spent almost a whole day watching the show.
I did. I have this postcard. Shout out Netflix. By the way, this episode is not sponsored by Netflix, but please sponsor our next episode. I would love to. Send us to Jeju.
I've never been to Jeju.
Me too. Oh my god, manifest. I tell you, Nat and I are the queen of manifestation.
I tell you, we will make such a great duo when we travel. You know why? Because we're both very different.
Yeah, honestly, we have different takes when it comes to things in life in general. Men also, like in everything. But Kwanshik is our only common goal today.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all for today. Again, watch it. It's on Netflix. I think it will be the talk of town for a little while more. Like you said, they're like winning awards or something.
I think they're slowly winning awards.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's cute.
So here's to writing better scripts. When life gives you tangerine.
Oh, let's end with this. When life gives you tangerine. Complete the sentence. I'm so cringe. See how we're different? She doesn't want to do it. I want to do it. Okay. I go first.
You start first.
When life gives you tangerine, remember your why. Shut up!
I thought you got answered.
I have my answer in my script. Stop. Of course, I'm well prepared.
Okay,
but I don't want to read my answer.
Okay.
But because it's a bit cringe. So I shorten it to remember your why.
Oh, okay.
What? Can you stop?
I'm like cheating.
What cheating? I already prepared, ma.
Yeah, sorry. Then you.
Ayo.
Okay. Sorry. Redo that. I think it's nice.
No need. It's okay. It's natural, ma. Just do what your turn.
Okay. When life gives you tangerines.
Don't look at my script.
I'm thinking, bro. My eyes need somewhere to go. That's the light. Actually, the only thing that pops in my head right now is that make tangerine juice.
Oh. Well, that's like when life gives you lemon, you make
Exactly,
lemonade.
yeah.
So boring.
But you know, I'm quite boring, right?
Well, I guess yeah. I don't know. What about you guys? Let me know. Let me know. Let us know in the comments. When life gives you tangerine, remember where you came from. Remember the people who were there for you. Anyway, yeah, it's getting a bit cliche. So I think that's why the title is just when life gives you tangerine, so that it's like,
When life gives you tangerines, just eat the tangerines and move on.
okay, that's
Yeah.
also can. Also can.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah. Speaking of tangerine, I want to drink some orange juice now. Okay, guys, that's all for today. Thank you for tuning in. Like
Thank
I
you.
always say, do you know what I always say?
Make sure you fall head over heels for yourself.
First and always.
Oh,
Okay, bye.
No for heels, no for heels, no for heels, no for heels, head over heels.